Welcome back. So today's video is a continuation from my previous video. If you haven't had a chance to go look at it, I think it's one of my best videos, so actually go take a look. But today's video is about how to strengthen your faith when you feel weak. Another point I'll be touching on is letting go of control and trusting God's plan. Um, the next one will be how to keep your heart soft in a hard world. And then to cap it off, just kind of give an overall summary between those different three sections. So let's get straight into it. So, how to strengthen your faith when you feel weak? Faith grows in seasons of weakness, not comfort. A lot of times in our life, we go through seasons that are pretty hard on us, and seasons that challenge us to really find out who we truly are, and find out who we truly are. What are we made of, really? And so, for those reasons, you need to have some grace for yourself. You know, you're not ever going to have everything perfect and aligned correctly. Like the stars always don't align for you, and that's something even for me that I also have to consider. Just thinking about this past year. This past year has been a lot, and it's so funny because last year, when I was looking upon this current year, I was saying to myself how I want this year to be one of my best years, and how I just want to grow and learn and just be a better Linux. And honestly, I can say that this definitely has challenged me. And of course, when you say those different things, you think of doing great things and prosperous things, but really, it's the challenges that really make you who you are today. And so my faith has grown from then, since I said that word, up until now. So I'm still on the move and growing. And weakness forces you to depend on God more deeply. So speak faith when you don't feel faith, because those really perplex you in the long run when you have those certain different moments that are going to challenge you again. So remember your past victories. They fuel present faith. I think that's one of the biggest things that a lot of people kind of, don't focus on. They just focus on now and the future. But it's a lot of things in your life that has happened in the past, to lead you to where you are today. And for that reason, you have to remember and go back to what you did in the past and use those different things and tactics to help you get out of that situation. And not all situations are universal, but the basics and the baseline of them are. And that's, what are you saying to yourself? How's your mental? How's your physical? So on, so on. So you remember your past. Um, Another thing to do is just feed your spirit with scripture, worship, and prayer. I mean, that's a given. I don't really need to speak on that. So some scriptures to kind of back this up a little bit is Hebrews 11:1. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. Isaiah 40:29-31. He gives strength to the weary. And Joshua 1:9. Be strong and courageous, for the Lord is with you. Okay, so strengthening your faith starts with admitting weakness. So this goes into letting go of control and trusting God's plan. Control is rooted in fear. Truth is rooted in faith. When you think about all of the different people in this world, dictators, even back then, dictators and just well known people in this world that have a lot of power, they rule the world by fear, by money, and just simply by their presence, their name, their being. And, you know, a lot of times we go through life, we'll meet a lot of different people, whether it's a girlfriend, a cousin, a coworker that has a certain presence that makes you revere from who you truly are, or maybe just make you challenge yourself in a way that you didn't think you had to be challenged, um, good and bad. But focusing on the bad, uh, it can definitely be coworkers who make you seem like you're less than because of their title, because of the power that they hold. And most of the times it's because of fear, not fear upon you, but fear for themselves. It's really eat or be eaten. So a lot of times people that are power driven and are mean to people and um, really have a bad impact on others people's lives are in a fearful state. Um, yeah, so and that leads to the second part. Trust is rooted in faith. I mean, trust is something that gets you from plan A to plan B. And if plan A fails, plan B is always there um, to save you. And so don't always be in a fearful state. You know, go out and do things, go out and challenge yourself, and just realize that the people that you think that have that power are really not in control. So you can't trust God and still try to manage everything. Surrender brings peace, rest, and clarity. God sees what you can't see, and trust His timing. He sees what you can't do. He knows the difficulties that you face. He knows even the good things and the assets that you possess. But it's up to you to give everything over to Him, the bad and the good, and make sure that He is well aware of your mental state, because it's just like a regular conversation with a friend. It's one thing to go through something and not tell your father what you're going through versus you telling your father what you're going through, and he's going to help you out. He's going to direct you. He's going to show you. So lean on his shoulder throughout those difficult times. And so when doing this, letting go means releasing outcomes and expectations. And sometimes that's not the best for us. Sometimes it's never in our favor for something to play out. Um, you really never know how long something might go. You really never know how long you will be impacted. And so for that reason, you have to give, again, grace to yourself. But throughout those difficult times, learn to be in the presence of Him. Learn to be in the moment of what you're currently going through. This goes back to the first point of remembering what He got you out of in the past. And even throughout the Bible, it's plenty of examples of that. Thinking about Moses when parting the Red Sea and them looking for the Promised Land. A lot of people with Moses forgot what God has already done for them, and they became bitter, asking for more and more. But sometimes it's not about asking for more. Sometimes it's just about asking, not asking, but sometimes it's about thanking Him and saying, thank you for this, thank you for that. Because those things that you want to reach, those goals that you want to achieve, you can't ask for it to just go away, because you will have to go through challenges. You have to ask for His strength to go through those challenges. So don't make it easier. You need to have the fuel, crisis fuel, to move you ahead. And surrendering is not weakness, it's spiritual strength. You're not going to win every battle again. So surrendering sometimes moves you ahead 5 steps when you least expect it, really. So surrendering and just being vulnerable are ways and traits of God. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Matthew 11, 28 through 30. Come to me and I will give you rest. Isaiah 55, 8 and 9. My ways are higher than yours. So moving on to the next one is how to keep your heart soft in a hard world. A hard world can lead to a hardened heart if you are not careful. Bitterness, disappointment, and hurt slowly harden the heart. There's nothing worse than a hardened heart. I can give you plenty of examples, but you can't be teachable. You can't grasp any learning opportunities. You can't grasp any knowledge from those learning opportunities. You have to be flexible. No matter what you are or where you're at in your life, you have to be flexible. You have to understand not everything in this life is forever. It won't last forever. So you just have to be flexible in the moment that you're going through. whether it's something that impacts you, something that impacts someone else, something that impacts a company. It's just you have to be in the moment and realize that this is only going to be for a brief time period, and just learn to, again, just be there for God, be there with God, and grasp everything that He's telling you, or grasp all the knowledge that you're receiving in that given moment, so this can perplex you in the long run when you face the next challenge in life. And when you have that hardened heart, it doesn't allow you to do that. Your mind is so fixated on just one thing. It's like a dog looking at food. They're fixated on one thing, and they don't realize that there's plenty of food in the kitchen, but although it's just right now it's food in their face going into the bowl, but there's really food all across the kitchen. So there's plenty of ways to look at something. It's just sometimes you just have to look at it a different way. Compassion, prayer, gratitude soften the heart. And when you do these different things, God renews your heart. And as He mentions in the Bible, the more you draw to Him, He will stand at the door and knock to come to you. So you just have to be available. You have to be open-minded to answer that door. That is a big problem in today's world, actually. And when you open that door, sit down, present the whole spread out. Don't just present your problem. Present everything. Present, how's your relationship like with your family? Present everything that you think God doesn't care about. Because those little things He cares about more than what your current status is of a certain situation. So Proverbs 4:23, guard your heart above all else. Ephesians 4:32, be kind and compassionate, forgiving one another. I'm sure there will be somebody that you have to forgive in your life, and it's a given, really. So you just can't have a hardened heart in today's world. Create in me a clean heart, O God, Psalms 51:10. You can't have a hardened heart in today's world because it's too many things to make your heart harden. So just be like the ocean, be like the water, be free, be movable. Don't be an object that just stays still. Too afraid. Don't get too excited about tomorrow or the past or even in the moment. Always realize that God is there for you, and the more you speak to Him, the more you'll be able to hear His voice. The more He will reciprocate back to you of the knowledge that's needed in that certain situation. So I just want to say thank you, and subscribe. I hope you have a good day, and I'll catch you soon. Pretty bright out here.